So think about all of the absolutely weird things we name after people. Or actually, let's reverse that. Or maybe not even reverse it, but let's change it up because I'm not actually making the point that I want to make here. So we just, there's just some things that we just name after a person, right? Okay, and not just like a place or you know, like something that was actually in reference to their life, but just like a thing. Like right now, I'm drinking an Arnold Palmer. I mean, this dude, it has nothing to do with his career. I'm assuming he was a golfer. Yeah, he golfed. Nothing to do with him golfing. It just he liked this drink, half tea, half lemonade, and then now it's named after him. And it's not even like the Arnold Twist or the Arnie or something like that, like a shorthand. It's like just literally the dude's first and last name. It's got to be a weird honor to have that happen. I wonder for myself, because I'm an egoist, um, what out there that I do could possibly just be named my first and last name. I don't know. I'm hoping something kind of embarrassing. Like, what was the Arnold Palmer called before it was called an Arnold Palmer? Just half iced tea, half lemonade? It would be cool if we could get some sort of medical name, or it's just my name, or like diseases too. That's a strange legacy to leave behind. Yeah, your typically your last name gets you know linked permanently in the medical ethos uh, with some horrific disease, like I think of Parkinson's. That's terrible. That's someone's name, I'm pretty sure. And if that isn't, I know certainly there are plenty of diseases and mental illnesses and syndromes that are just named after people. It's interesting. I don't know why it's interesting, but to me right now in this moment it is. Maybe that is just that could be my thing. Inexplicable, just stupid shit. That is now what Cody Castillo, there's my name by the way, is going to be, representative of. It's just stupid thoughts. I had another Cody. Not even another Cody. I had another Cody Castillo. Oof. Oof. Hmm. Today was super slow. Very, very slow. Everyone always is like, oh God, yeah. Oh no, it's slow. There's not anything to do. But I like it. I like that. And I wonder how many other people actually feel that way. You know? Or if they're just everyone else really truly just wants to be busy all the time. But I like when I have nothing to do and I'm getting paid, I'm just standing there. I like it. I don't take those moments for granted. But yeah, let's change this up. But it was super slow. But I work with, I might have talked about this before, but I work with a bunch of younger people. And I had a long conversation with this 17-year-old today, or a 17-year-old coworker of mine. It's interesting. It's interesting watching myself get older, because now I'm able to listen to her, talk about her life and tell me some stories that are going on in her life and get her perspective on them. And really, at my age now, it gives me a really interesting and how do I say this? It gives me like a really interesting perspective, but also a really like a deep or particularly knowledgeable, but just almost more of an empathetic, I guess, perspective, or where I can really be like, oh, I've been there, or maybe I haven't exactly been there, but I remember that time in my life. I remember what I was going through. So there's this weird one-sided connectivity that I have, that I feel when I'm talking with someone a lot younger. Because and the reason I say one-sided is because I didn't feel that way about adults when I was younger. just didn't. When I was going through middle school and high school, I didn't really have that same appreciation, and I developed that right after I got out of high school. I was just so cocky as a kid. I was absolutely sure of everything that I wanted. And boy, was I completely wrong about what I wanted, but how my life was gonna go about. But aren't most of us at that age? Even when people are right, when they plan it out and actually achieve it, oftentimes it's not exactly how they pictured it. The feeling of having achieved all that. Very rarely do I actually hear from someone genuine that they went about their life, um, planned it out, knew exactly what they were going to do, achieved all that, and then found it satisfying and were able to find lasting fulfillment through doing that. Very rarely. It's very unique. I thought I was in that privileged position when I was a lot younger, but pretty naive in that. Yeah. This new perspective that I have as well doesn't. I've been very cautious to try to not have it lend any entitlement. This new perspective that I have through my age when I'm talking with people who are a lot younger than me. Um, this new empathetic perspective. I've been trying not to let that make me feel above them, because I hear that a lot from other people too. They're like, "Oh, I've been through that before. You just gotta do X, Y, Z to get out of it." And it's like, and I don't know. Isn't it kind of the audacity to assume that what worked for you works for me? I never want to replicate that. I always find that a bit short-sighted. Because in truth, when she's telling me about all the stuff that's going on in her life, you know, I don't know. I don't know how to deal with it. You know, even though I went through it, I got through it by kind of falling aimlessly, getting battered by whatever came my way. You know that game where I can't remember what it's called, but there are all those poles and kind of this board that's like laying vertically, and you drop like this ball and it bounces along all those poles. There's like a game show called The Wall where it's basically that but on cocaine. Um, but I feel like that pretty much accurately describes my life, and honestly most people's lives, even if they don't realize it. But so it's just been interesting. It's just really interesting getting older. I wonder what it's gonna be like when I'm close to death. If I end up living like a full life, my full, I mean, you know, my 80s, 90s. If I end up dying just because my body gives up, versus then if something happens like a malignant disease or murder. Well, anyway, on that uplifting note,